Am I the asshole? I washed my husband's key fob. I empty nester age have been married over 20 years and typically do the laundry because I do not work outside the home as many hours as does hubby. He does often help fold and put away. It has always been my policy to not check any pockets aside from when the kids were very young before I put items in the washing machine, even though I have ruined many important items, my own included. I've even had to clean ink from all over the dryer drum because of my refusal. He's a grown-ass man. I say he can check his own pockets before putting them in the hamper. 3 days ago, I found his truck's keyless proximity starter went through an entire wash cycle, and of course, it does not work. Tried to start his vehicle, no luck. Took the vehicle with second fob to the dealer service, who said it is FUBAR. A new replacement fob will cost around $450. Hubby says I am the asshole for refusing to check pockets. I say he is the asshole for not checking before surrender to launder. Who gets the blame? Something really gratifying for the winner is riding on the answer. Esh. He doesn't check and you don't bother to fill the pockets. I was with you until you wrote that you have ruined many important items including stuff that yours, but that you don't really care. There has to be a better way. It's called cooperation. How it goes in is how it comes out. Don't put something in the hamper if it isn't ready to go. He is an adult. A grown-ass man. This is not a new rule. Yes, it sucks, but I bet he never forgets again. Or, when my husband was a jerk about it too, I just quit doing his laundry. Problem solved. Not the asshole. Esh. He knows you don't check pockets, so it's his own fault. But it sounds like you also know that both you and he aren't great about it and have ruined expensive things of both of yours, so seems really cutting off your nose to spite your face to me. I just did the same to my key fobs and I was convinced they were broken. I opened them up with a knife and took out the little circuit board, dried it and rubbed it down with rubbing alcohol. Both of the key fobs work like nothing happened. Esh. Also married over 20 years, Sam, and the one who does the laundry. I too have washed money. All money found in the laundry goes into my purse, lol, and I have even washed a key fob once. But not because I refuse to check pockets, and not because he doesn't normally empty them, but because sometimes when doing a load and also chasing a baby around and prepping dinner I miss stuff. He should empty his pockets, but you should try to check them also. This way if one of you misses it the other should catch it. Life is too hectic to not be a team about things. The fact that you say you've ruined many important items with this policy makes you an AH. How significant is $450 to your budget? At this point you seem to be being stubborn and petty, and to what purpose exactly? Why not just not was anything you find something in the pocket of? If they didn't empty the pockets, they can do the next load, or at the very least that item if they need it desperately. Sounds a lot cheaper and less detrimental. Everyone makes mistakes and you being spiteful isn't a partnership. Esh. Are you two really married or just roommates with jewelry? Partners in marriage have responsibilities for sure, but in the end, you should help each other out. Did you try changing the battery? Not the asshole, you are not his mom, and generally, even before taking clothes to the cleaners, they ask you to clean out your pockets. I suppose this time it will be a valuable lesson for him to always make sure he cleans out his pockets before handing over his laundry. Because this is how I see it: if you take your clothes to the cleaners, you know to remove all the valuables from your pockets, or else they might get damaged or lost. The same principle applies here. I took my old Honda key fob swimming in the sea and it's still fine. They have rubber seals. Maybe open it, change the battery. Take it to an electronic repair shop, let them check if it had corroded. Maybe it can be fixed. ESH, but OP is winning the game of stubbornness. I think it's hilarious that you either have not learned from your mistakes of ruining many important things, or you are just so damn stubborn that even if you learned, your brain somehow tells you that it's better to be stubborn than to not ruin your stuff. Responsibility, share it. I check my pockets and my wife checks again when she does laundry. It helps that when going from dirty clothes to clean that I just switch everything out myself and that I always have the same number of items in my pockets. Neither of us wants to have something banging around in the machine, possibly damaging it too. You're both assholes. Sounds like he finally may have learned his lesson, but you're the bigger asshole for taking glee in ruining multiple family items in your insistence to not check pockets. You're not blameless here, but it's extra easy to blame you when your post is dripping with tea I refuse to change. Your mind was made up before you even made this post FFS. Keys go on key hook as soon as I get home, wallet and work badge go into bowl under key hook. Shoes go into the shoe cabinet. Jacket on rack. Like. Why carry that shit around the house? ESH, I guess. If ruining stuff regularly happens, you should be mitigating it. I'm ADHD and not having strict self-rule ruins my home life fast. Esh. X200B. Let him do the laundry, that WY he can check. X200B. X200B. Something really gratifying for the winner is riding on the answer. Neither of you should get it. You're the asshole, just because you almost seem proud of ruining many important things yet sticking to a policy that obviously is not working for your family. Esh. This is so stupid. There's a middle ground here. While I can't prove it, I get the impression that you find things in pockets and intentionally leave them in to teach people a lesson. Esh. Your family has a history of leaving things in. Whoever does the laundry doesn't double check. If this was a one-off, I will vote NTA, but this is a thing that keeps happening in your house. As soon as the first big important thing was ruined, everyone in the house should have been reminded to check pockets before putting things in the to-be-washed area. And whoever puts it from there into the washer needs to at least feel around. Y'all will not learn anyone who is the house until you all start doing it. I once left my car key in my pocket when putting clothes in the laundry basket. My wife put a wash on and it was, of course, ruined. I took full responsibility for this, as it was entirely my fault for leaving the key in my pocket. Not the asshole. Been my policy not to check pockets. Fucking why? Is this really the hill to die on? Because last I checked. Being principled doesn't mean being stupid. You're the asshole. Not the asshole. Are people really checking pockets on everything before they wash? Sounds exhausting. Empty your pockets before you take your clothes off. I used to leave tissues all the time and it was a pain to deal with, so I learned to empty them before taking my clothes off. He's a grown man, he can do the same. His key, his pants, his problem. We have a similar setup at my house and no way my wife gets the blame for not checking my pockets. Stuff has gone through the was and oh well, it's on me for not checking. Hubby needs to suck it up and pay the money. Hopefully he learns his lesson and checks his pockets. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, my hubby and I have an agreement, if it's in the wash basket, we have the okay to wash it. If anything is left in the pockets, it's on the person who the pocket belongs to. If it's not in the basket it doesn't get washed. My wife and I do our own laundry. I check all pockets before the item goes in the laundry as, like OP, I have ruined some items. Nothing as expensive as a FOB, mainly just appointment slips. Not the asshole. Growing up, my mother had the exact same rule for laundry, because it makes sense. You don't want something ending up accidentally washed, you make sure yourself you don't leave anything in your pockets. Not the asshole, I never check pockets. Have also washed my key fob, fortunately it came out alright. Responsibility lies with the person who leaves their laundry in the wash basket. Sounds dysfunctional. Both of you ought to do it and then you will be absolutely sure. I'm having a hard time believing grown people routinely take their clothes off before emptying their pockets, throwing them in the laundry. This is the first thing I do. I taught my son to do this when I was teaching him not to leave his clothes inside out. I think OP is not the asshole. Her husband can empty his own pockets. If he's calling you an asshole because he doesn't like the way you do his laundry for him, then congratulations, you don't do his laundry anymore, not the asshole. Nta. He's an adult. He can check his own pockets. Or start doing his own laundry. ESH not hard to check the pockets, especially if you know the next person won't either. Why you feel so strongly about it and need a policy not to do so is beyond me. If many expensive items have been ruined, the policy ought to be that you do check pockets. Not the asshole. He needs to empty his pockets before putting dirty clothes in the wash pile. His responsibility